Beginning the assignment. My name is Dr. Eli Warren, and for the last 4 months, I've been stationed on Epsilon Eridani 4, a lush green planet wrapped in a constant veil of mist. It's home to the Seraphins, an alien species humanoid in form, ethereal in beauty, and utterly mysterious. The mission was simple: study, not interfere. Humanity had just signed the Cultural Observation Pact, the first treaty allowing limited contact between Earth and the Seraphin Dominion. I was part of the observation team, responsible for linguistics and behavioral research. But that was before I met her. She called herself Nara, though her full name, in Seraphin language, was something like Enarashil Teldaran. She was tall, her skin faintly luminous, her hair flowing like living silver. Her eyes, they were pools of violet light that seemed to see through me. I first met her by the Mirror Lake, where our research drones recorded her people's rituals. She wasn't supposed to interact with me directly. None of them were. Yet when she noticed me crouched behind the equipment, she walked over, silent as mist, and asked, "Why do humans hide to look at beauty?" It was the first time I'd ever heard a Seraphin speak English. The encounter. From that day on, Nara visited the observation outpost often, always when the others weren't around. She claimed curiosity, said she liked hearing me speak. Sometimes, we traded questions. She'd ask about human oceans, and I'd tell her about waves crashing against rocky cliffs. She'd ask what love meant, and I'd stumble through an explanation that made her smile, though her expression always seemed tinged with something wistful. In turn, she told me about her people's memory wells, vast crystalline structures that recorded the emotional echoes of their ancestors. To the Seraphins, memory was sacred, more sacred than life itself. Over time, something changed. I began to feel that her visits weren't just curiosity. There was familiarity in the way she looked at me. Once, as the twin suns set, she touched my hand and whispered, "Your pulse sings the same rhythm." I remember this sound. I laughed awkwardly, assuming it was poetic alien speech. But her tone was serious, reverent. Then came the moment that changed everything. The compliment. It was evening. The air shimmered with the faint glow of bioluminescent trees, and Nara stood by the lake again, her reflection rippling like liquid starlight. She looked lost in thought, her gaze far beyond the horizon. Without thinking, I said softly, "You look beautiful tonight." Her body went still. Completely still. Then, slowly, she turned toward me, her violet eyes wide, trembling. "You shouldn't remember that," she whispered. At first, I thought she'd misheard. "Remember what?" I asked. She stepped closer, her voice barely audible. "Those words. You said them before, a lifetime ago. But you were not supposed to remember." The air around her shimmered, faint waves of distortion rippled through reality, like heat-bending light. My heart pounded. "Nara, what are you talking about?" She reached up, trembling fingers brushing the side of my neck, just above the scar I'd carried since childhood. Her expression shattered. "They said they erased you. The truth unfolds." That night, she took me beneath the crystal caverns, deep into the planet's underbelly where human access was forbidden. I followed, half in fear, half in desperate curiosity. We stopped before a glowing crystal spire, massive, humming softly like a living heart. "This," she said, placing her palm on it, "is a memory well. It holds the echoes of those who once were. Not thoughts, emotions. What we felt, what we feared, what we loved. And you think I'm in there?" I asked. She nodded slowly. "You were. Before they wiped it. Before the Accord." Nara explained that, long before the official treaty, the Seraphins had secretly worked with human researchers. There was an experiment, Project Memosign, a test to merge Seraphin memory with human consciousness. She was one of the subjects. So was I. But something went wrong. The fusion created not knowledge, but bonding. Two minds intertwined across species and time. It nearly caused a planetary psychic collapse. The project was buried, memories erased, records destroyed. Yet somehow, I remembered her. You shouldn't be possible, she said softly. No human was supposed to recall a seraphim connection. Memory was purged from your kind. But I do, I said. I don't know why, but I do. Her eyes glistened. Then you've broken the law of two worlds. The forbidden connection. For the next few nights, Nara and I met in secret. She taught me how seraphims speak through emotion, a kind of empathic resonance. I learned that when she touched my hand, I could feel what she felt, not through words, but sensations. Warmth, loneliness, longing, and once, love. We became inseparable. But each encounter left her weaker. The link reawakens the old pattern, she said. It drains me. The well remembers, and it tries to restore what was lost. I couldn't let her fade. I began searching the human database logs, uncovering scraps of erased files. The deeper I dug, the clearer the truth became. Nara and I were the first experiment. Our bond was the prototype that proved cross-species connection was possible. They erased us both, but only my memories returned. And the scar on my neck? It wasn't an accident from childhood. It was the implant that once connected me to her. The confrontation. When the Seraphim Council learned of our renewed bond, they ordered Nara to sever contact immediately. The human must forget, they said. Or the convergence will repeat. But Nara refused. The council sent enforcers, radiant, armor-clad seraphim guards who could manipulate psychic energy. They surrounded the caverns, demanding my surrender. Nara stood in front of me, her body blazing with white light. Go, she whispered. They will destroy you to protect the balance. I'm not leaving you again. The guards raised their arms, the air quaked with pressure. But before the strike could land, the memory well erupted. A wave of emotion, love, grief, and loss from generations burst forth, engulfing everything. I fell to my knees, visions flashing through my mind. I saw Nara and me in another time, standing under the same lake, her saying the same words I'd spoken. You look beautiful tonight. I realized then I had said it before. Long ago. Before my memories were wiped. Before she was forced to forget. Middle, the revelation. When I woke, I was no longer in the caverns. I was inside a glowing chamber of crystal and light. My reflection shimmered faintly, something had changed in me. My eyes flickered violet. Nara knelt beside me, pale but alive. You're connected again, she said softly. The well recognized you. I felt her in my thoughts, not just emotionally, but completely. Memories flooded in, our experiment, our laughter, the collapse of the old lab, the forced separation. I remembered her saying, they will make us strangers again. But fate had undone their erasure. Nara looked torn between joy and despair. If we stay linked, it will awaken the well fully. It will merge both species' memories into one network. Humanity isn't ready for that. Then we hide, I said. We protect it, together. She smiled sadly. You sound like you did before.